What's up, YouTube? All right, on this episode of Adam and Stuff Doing Stuff, we're gonna be taking this bike with the really squishy wheels and the bald tire in the back, and we're gonna be putting on a new set of tires and tubes and getting this kid back on this bike, having fun. So let's start off with removing this wheel. Then we'll go to the back, show you how to take the chain off. This isn't really a how-to, this is just what I'm working on, so I'm gonna show it as I go. So you guys out there that talk about me muddling around and so on, go out and do stuff, you know? All right, let's get started. All right, so it is super easy to take off a front wheel. You need one wrench, and you can use an impact driver. These are both 15 millimeter. So I'm just gonna put the little impact in here. I have it on like the lowest setting, so I'm not gonna hurt anything. And just back it up. Move around to the other side. There you go. I'll take this off. This bike is a nice bike. This is a Diamondback Viper. So it has these cool little washers that help hold the shaft of the rim in place. Pretty nice. So make sure you don't lose your washers. Usually washers go behind a nut. So if you're not sure where it came from when you're putting it back together, that's what you're looking for. I'm just gonna go ahead and put these washers back on so I don't lose them while I'm working on the wheel. I'll bring you over here to show you that. Dropping the washers back on in the orientation that they were too, so in case I forget stuff, I can find everything. Cool. So now I'm gonna take soapy water and just kind of start spraying it in here. This is just gonna help me get this off real easy. Might not even be necessary, but it sure helps. That's good enough. We got your bike tools. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. These are actually funny. I don't like these ones because you can't really get them in there. There you go. That's how you're supposed to do that, I guess. And you get the other guy, you just run it around. It's pretty simple. There you go. So one side's off. Now you're gonna find the Schrader valve right there. And let me just see, make sure you can see that. Yeah, it's right there. And you're just gonna push that in. You're gonna get that out of there. Bring it outside the rim like that. And just pull it out. Take this inner tube out. There's a little bit of air in this inner tube, but it keeps going flat, so I'm pretty sure it's done. So I'm just gonna discard that to the side. This tire is bald, so we're not gonna use this again. So we're just gonna rip that right off. And this rim does have a liner, and it looks fine, but it's all wet because I just sprayed it with soap. So we're gonna go ahead and use a rag and just chase the fluid out of here a little bit while holding down the liner. I have more liner, I might use more liner, we'll see. Just note that when you put this back together, your liner needs to match up with where your Schrader valve goes. So you need to find that, which is right here, and you can see we're good. The liner matches up pretty good right here, so we won't have to deal with that. All right, so one more time. Let's dry that off. Pull this up here. I'm sure at one point this liner was held together by its own self and it just broke, so all right. Probably should have started this tape before I got the liner where I wanted it, but it's all good. There we go. And I'm just gonna drop it on somewhere on this side. Get it started, bring this guy back up. That's good enough right there. All right. Liner's held in place again. Still have the Schrader valve spot where it's supposed to be. So let's get a new tire on. I got these 16 by 2.125 size tires I got these from Amazon. Let's just make sure they're the right size. 16 by 2.125. Yep, that looks fine to me. Looks fine to me. They always look a little bigger than the last tire, but that's just because they aren't on the rim yet. And it came with some, inner tubes. Oh, and it even came with more tools. So make sure you don't cut your inner tubes while you open the packaging. These can go on the kit. Take these guys off, remove the cap from the Schrader valve. Just move this piece of plastic off to the side. Let's get the rim partially on. I'm gonna go ahead and drop some soap on here so it slides nice and easy. This is not a 16-inch, is it? There's no way this is 16 inches. Did I order the wrong size tire? I had to have ordered the wrong size tire. There's no way. There's no way. let's see what these are. I'm gonna be so upset. It says 16. It says 16 by 2.125 right there. 16 by 1221. These are supposed to be size 16 tires. Okay, you know, it says it's supposed to be, so let's see. I mean, with an inner tube in here. All right, they made a believer out of me. This is gonna work. Well, this is the wet side. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. And then let us drop our inner tube in. So as you can see right here, biggest thing with these inner tubes is you just want to make sure the Schrader valve gets in here. Right, there it is, pops in. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the cap on it so it doesn't sneak out on me. The cap will sort of hold it in place. There we go. And then we'll tuck the rest of this in here, making note of that liner that I think came loose already. It's not hanging out anymore, so that's good. And I'm just gonna kind of like pop this, you know, using my stomach, pop this guy back in. So there we go. That was really easy. Let's put some air in here and see how it holds. All right, sorry for the noise. The trick I do is I just push down with my thumb so the Schrader valve can't back out. I get this thing to seat on here all the way, and then I watch the gauge here. Every time you stop pumping, it tells you the reading. We're getting some blow by here, so we're gonna reseat this if we can. There we go. And this goes to 35 PSI. So we're getting 30, 30, 30, 35, right about there. And then we're just gonna pull that off, check it out. Everything feels good. All right, I think we're good to go here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this cap back on. Well, I'm gonna wait to put this on. I'm just gonna put this to the side. So that was pretty easy. Now we're gonna pop off the back tire. We gotta deal with the chain a little bit, but this ain't no speed bike, so it's gonna be pretty easy. So let's bring the camera around and take care of the back tire. All right, so just gonna go ahead and adjust this so that it's easy to see. I love this bike stand, by the way. All right, so we're gonna be taking this guy off. We're gonna go ahead and pop this off. One of these is a little bigger than the other. And tell you what, I'll bring you with me. Yeah, you get to see how messy, my garage is. So I used the little guy last time, but I believe right here, that's a 16. Where is it? Where is it? Coming to view. Well, you can't, but that's a 16, so let's go check it out. 16 is too small. You see that? So let's get a 17. It's probably a standard, but we already got this drawer open, so it'll just be easier. Perfect. Perfect, that'll work fine. So let's get you back on the tripod. We're gonna go ahead, get the wrench on here so don't spin it. That's fine. And then, let's see if we can just pop this one loose. All right, that's loose. All right, that should be enough to bring this guy out. Why is it not loose? Something's holding on pretty good. Oh, so let me show you real quick. Right there, there's an internet. Cool. All right, that was all there was. Back this guy out. Well, I'll just take it off. So what I did here was, once I loosened it up, I just pushed this forward and the chain drops loose. Kind of just get the chain and bring it up like that. Bring it back a little bit. You kind of find a place to hang the chain so it's kind of out of the way. This is a bike with a pedal brake. So right here is Phillips. So I'm just going to back that out, and behind it is a small nut. All right, I grabbed my favorite crescent. You might be thinking, favorite crescent? Now this is a Wright USA 9AC08. This is an old crescent wrench from Grandpa. But this guy, he is the best crescent wrench that I've ever used. The best, I tell you what. All right, there's the nut and the screw, and now this guy is free, and now I can take this whole thing out, and now we're gonna go ahead and swap the tire and the tube on this one too. So the inner tube in here is actually fine. I think I'm gonna keep the inner tube, just replace the tire, and then the other inner tube will be a spare for when this one dies, because I don't feel like I need to throw away a perfectly good inner tube. If we need to do a quick bike fix, it's not a big deal. So now we're just using our tool, the hook, and we're just letting the air out of the Schrader valve. There we go. That should be enough. So again, soapy water to the rescue. We're gonna lube up this outer ridge. That's good. All right. We get our tool in here, grab the edge of the tire. Well, now that we have the other one, let me show you how these guys work. You can literally just hook it onto the spoke there. I mean, I kind of like those better than this fit tight, but whatever. All right, let me just run this guy all the way around, pop the tire out, just like that. Take the inner tube out like we did last time, pulling it through the Schrader valve hole. Voila. Being a little extra careful with this guy because he's still good. And then should be able to just pull this guy off. We're gonna look at the liner. Liner's still intact, didn't go anywhere. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick my finger in here and clean out any junk that's in here. Why not? There you go, wasn't a lot, that's pretty good. Let's get the new tire on here. The last one I soaped up, but if I remember correctly, this was actually pretty easy. Now there is something I just realized that's gonna be very important, and probably if you haven't already commented, look at that. Do you see that arrow? These tires pattern, the tread pattern on this tire is designed so that the bike should be rolling this way when in regular operation. This is our brake side. We're gonna put it on the bike this way, so we're good. We know this worked out well. We should, however, check our other tire to make sure. Now, this one, it doesn't matter so much because I could literally mount this either way on the bike, so it doesn't matter. But we should pay attention. Drive is this way. So when we go to mount these back on to the bike, we're going to wanna make sure that we adhere to this arrow and that the tire rolling forward, basically this is on the left-hand side of the bike. Find my Schrader valve hole, my rim, right here, perfect. Let's get this inner tube back in here. We're gonna tuck it underneath here. You could let out a lot of air actually if you wanted, but there's enough air out already where we're gonna be fine. We're going to pop the Schrader valve in there like so, and again, we're gonna put the cap on. So if it sneaks out, the cap will kind of hold it from going through that hole in the rim. And then just tuck this inside the tire. There you go, it's in there. You want the Schrader valve going out straight, by the way. You don't want it going like to the one way or the other. You want it going straight down like it is now. And so we can just use our thumbs and just push this tire back on as best we can. There we go. We've got another tire ready to go. We're gonna fill this up to 35 PSI. That's the max, by the way. That's the max. You do not need to run 35 PSI. If you have a lightweight bicyclist or if you're going over a bunch of bumpy terrain on your little bike, kid is anyways, you might want to put a little less air in there. But I don't know, maybe 30 is good enough. When I was a kid, I would just do it till it got firm with my hand. Let's do a test. I would stop there, and there's 30. Well, 25. We're gonna go all the way though. We want to see how well this holds air. All right, so that was easy enough. Now let's mount these back on the bicycle. We'll start with this one, the hardest one. It's not really that hard, but let's take you from here over to the bike again. These tires feel nice and sticky, that's good. All right, so what we're first gonna do is we're gonna keep this loose, get it a little taut, like ready to tighten. We're gonna get our chain back on. I'll start from the back here, droop it around. Let's bring it on here. There we go, chain's back on. We're gonna pull it back. As you tighten it, we just wanna kinda eyeball down the center of the bike, making sure our tire is straight, not this way or that way. Eyeballing is totally good enough. Maybe if you're a bike shop guy and you're doing, you know, $20,000 bikes, it's not good enough. But for my garage, it's good enough. And actually, to make this easier, I'm gonna drop this so I can use gravity, pull on it, just angle it so that it's straight, get it hand tight, get it ready to go, and then just crank these guys on. Check the tension. That's perfect. That is perfect. That was about there. Let me look at this. Is this still straight? Yep, that's straight. So now we're gonna go ahead and finish tightening up the brake over here. Let's make it easy on ourselves, guys. We gotta be able to see this stuff. That's why you buy the stand, guys. Make it easy on yourself. It's more fun that way, you know? All right, get it back on there. There we go. And tighten this down. That ain't going nowhere. Cool, cool, cool. That was easy. Let's do the front. So, get the nut and the washer off. And of course you gotta drop one. You're not doing anything productive in a garage if you don't drop a couple nuts. Now remember, we have to make sure the orientation of this tire is on the correct way. There we go. Orientation is now correct. Nuts on here. Yeah. That'll hold itself for a second. Huh. Thank you. We are going to make sure this guy's running straight too before we do any final alignment. So tire is, you know, shapely, so that's fine. We're good. We're good. Let's lock these puppies on here. So we're gonna make sure this guy here is locked up. And you know, I'm gonna put it on the second setting, which is the Ugga Duggas that matches my strength. So I feel pretty confident that'll be the right tightness. All right. She looks good. This bike is all ready to give back to the boy. I gotta show you this though. This stand is super cool. So first, release the stand, put that level, lift this bracket up, take the bike out, just like that. It's wonderful. Yeah, man, he'll be ripping around in this thing. This is great. And he's gonna be out riding again tomorrow and he's gonna love it. He was asking all day today, Dad, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Well, it's ready now. All right. Hey, you know, this is just an encouragement. If you got something that is busted and broken, which I do, a lot of stuff around here, fix it. Just fix stuff, man. You know, and just to end this video, you know, no long-winded messages about the theory of getting things done or anything like that, but make a list, tackle your stuff. I got a lot of stuff. Get stuff done. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. If you could like and subscribe, that would be great. I'm trying to grow a channel here. We'll see what this turns into. And love your comments and your feedback, even if even if you're that even if you're that basement whore that just knows everything and has to tell me, you know what I mean? But all are welcome. I don't care. It's the internet. I know what I'm signing up for. I'll see you guys later.